Hello everyone, welcome back to Zen Zone Yoga. If you will join me here on the mat today, we are going to be doing a beginner vinyasa style yoga flow that is just really going to wake up all the muscles in your body. So we're not going towards any particular peak pose today. This is just a feel-good yoga flow to wake up your bodies and loosen up your muscles and joints. So if you will join me on the mat in a comfortable seated position, palms up on your knees, close your eyes, back straight, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And as we sit here and breathe, try to focus on your muscles, your joints, anything that could be sore or aching right now. Try to focus the oxygen towards those areas. Go ahead and open your eyes. And if you will come with me onto all fours, we are going to start in a child's pose. So cinch your knees together and sink your sit bones over top of your heels, chest over your knees, and bring your fingers all the way forward. This is an active child's pose, so you're pulling forward. And breathe in and out. Really feeling it in your shoulders. Now from here, we're going to go into puppy pose. So come to your forearms, and we're going to come down onto we're going to curl our toes and come up as though in a dolphin pose. And then we're going to lower onto our chin and our chest. So from dolphin here, we're going to come onto our knees, bring your hands forward, lower onto your chest and your chin, into puppy pose. And from here, we're going to come down onto your belly, keeping your forearms on the ground. Come into Sphinx pose. Keep your legs active. So pull your knees up. Engage your glutes. Point your toes. Keep your shoulder blades away from your chin, your ears. And now put your hands where your elbows were and push up into cobra. Same thing, keep your legs engaged. Breathe in and out. Now tuck your toes, and we're going to bring our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Adjust as necessary and breathe in and out. Now from here, roll forward, breathe in, do a high plank. Then roll even more forward, lower all the way down to the mat and breathe out. Come onto the tops of your feet, push up into cobra, breathe in. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Breathe out. Bring your right foot up into three-legged dog. Bring it up front, landing in pigeon pose with your hand behind your left foot and your knee behind your right hand. Wow, foot behind your left hand, my goodness. Now come on to the top of your left leg and up onto your fingertips for a pigeon pose. Keeping that back leg engaged. keeping our hips parallel. And we're gonna just sit here in pigeon pose for a minute. It really opens up your hips. Now tuck your toes on your left foot and come up and back into downward facing dog. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the left side. So bring your left leg in the air for a three-legged dog. Bring your leg forward, landing in pigeon pose with your foot behind your right hand and your knee behind your left hand, coming onto the top of your right leg, keeping that leg engaged. Come onto your fingertips for pigeon. Now tuck the toes on your right foot and come up and back into downward facing dog. Come forward into a high plank, breathe in. Come even more forward and lower all the way down one straight line, breathe out. Untuck your toes, push up into your hands for cobra, breathe in. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back into downward facing dog, breathe out. Now we're going to come forward into high plank and drop your knees almost to the mat, but not quite touching, into a bear pose and hold, engaging your core, engaging those lower abdominal muscles. And release onto your knees. Knees hip width apart, toes together, and fall back into a child's pose. And you can relax in this child's pose now. Forehead on the mat. Now from here, come back up into a tabletop position. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to do balancing table. So left leg out behind you, tuck your toes. Right hand out in front of you. Bring your left leg up, straight line from your toes to your fingertips. And hold. And bring it back down to a tabletop. Other way, so bring your right leg out behind you, tuck your toes, left arm out in front. Bring your right leg out behind you, straight line from your toes to your fingertips, and hold. And come back to a tabletop position. Now we're going to do some cat-cow. So drop your belly to the mat, chin up for cow, and breathe in. Now curl your back, drop your chin. Breathe out for cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. Breathe in, cow. Breathe out, cat. One more time. Breathe in, cow. And breathe out, cat. Now we're going to come up onto the tops of our knees, and we're going to fall back into a camel pose. So first, let's bring our arms all the way up into kneeling Urdhva Hastasana and lean back as far as your body will allow without you falling. And breathe. Now from here, drop both arms down and grab onto your heels. And push your hips forward for a camel pose, looking up to the sky. Really opening up our chests. And come down into rock pose, sitting on your heels, and just breathe for a minute. Now we're going to come onto your sit bones. We're going to go into boat pose. So come at, you want your legs at a 45-degree angle and your torso at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to lift one leg up at a time so that your shins are parallel with the mat. And then one arm at a time, you will bring forward, also parallel with the mat, and hold in boat pose, engaging that core. And bring your legs up, extend them out, staying at a 45-degree angle. And drop them back down to parallel with the mat. And release. Now we're going to do a seated forward fold. So bring your arms up over your head and fall down as far as you can over your legs, bending at the hips. Breathe in, breathe out, sink even further. And come back up. We're going to do a seated spinal twist. So take your left foot, plant it outside of your right knee, hook your right elbow outside of your left knee, and twist and breathe in. And out and sink even further into the twist. One more time, breathe in. And out and sink into the twist. I'll come back to seated. Now we're going to bring our right foot outside of our left knee, hook your left elbow outside of your right knee, and breathe in. And out and go further into the twist. Breathe in. And out, sinking further into the twist. And come back to center. We're going to bring our feet together as close to our pelvis as we can. Grab onto your feet, straight back for Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Breathe in, straight back. Breathe out, fall over your feet. And come on up. Now we're going to come on to our backs. Knees bent as close to your pelvis as you can get them. You should be able to just about brush the backs of your heels with your fingers. We're going to come into bridge So bring up your hips, interlace your fingers, scoot your shoulder blades underneath you, and send your pelvis up to the sky for a bridge pose. Don't forget to breathe. Keep those legs cinched together. We don't want them to splay out wide. And relax. Now bring your legs up into the air, palms down on the mat. We're going to send our legs up and over our heads into plow pose, landing with toes tucked over our heads. So you want to be on the tops of your shoulders for this. Interlace your fingers and pull. Now from here, plant your palms back on the mat. Bring your legs up one at a time into a shoulder stand. And then controlled, lower your body down back onto the mat. And we're going to go into happy baby. So bend your knees, spread them apart, reach between your knees, grabbing the outside of your heels, and breathe deeply into happy baby. Deep breaths. Rock back and forth, massaging your lumbar spine on the ground. Taking deep breaths, and then find stillness and happy baby. Come back to your normal breath. And then one at a time, release your legs down all the way to the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades a little bit, land with your palms face up. Close your eyes if they weren't already. Into Shavasana, final relaxation. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders away from your chin. Unclasp your hands if you're gripping them. Release your feet if you're clenching. And just feel the weight of your body being cradled by the earth beneath you. And at this time, scan your body, feel, how do you feel now? Do your muscles feel better than they did before you started? Do your joints have more of a range of motion than before? Do you feel awakened? And then breathe the oxygen from your lungs into any areas that might be sore, stiff, or in pain. Feel your breath entering those areas and allowing the oxygen to heal your wounds. As we come to silence and stillness here in Shavasana. I invite you to stay in Shavasana as long as you need to. But if you're ready to bring your awareness back to your physical body, do so by wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your arms up over your head, knees to one side, and roll over onto your side in the fetal position. From here, keeping your eyes closed, come up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra, the mudra of gratitude. And bow your chin to your chest, sealing in this wonderful practice. Thanking yourselves for coming to the mat today to heal mind, body, and spirit. I hope that you all feel so much more alive after this. Go ahead and gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat here at Zen Zone Yoga. Namaste.